second. Perfect. Welcome to the Power Within for the 50th time, guys. I am B. Burrell, one of the top leaders inside this opportunity. But in this space, this is a public call, so you guys are welcome to invite your friends and families so they can get that weekly seed in their soul, right? Just a couple of things, man. I just want to make sure that all of us remain in a state of gratitude. I've definitely been experiencing a lot of major changes in every area of my life, financially, my position playing musically every week in churches, within this business, my personal family, just so many big things happening. Me, I'm having to have to move twice in 60 days. Just a lot of big things that's happening. And one thing that we have to be able to have is endurance and faith. So, and being able to handle so much movement in so many different places. And I think it's a wonderful space to be in. And I'm grateful because I've never had any, you guys ever had a change happen in your life, but it's usually just kind of like one area of life. Like, you probably gonna have a career change, but you still live in the same house, live on the same street. You kind of have the same type of environment, right? But imagine big changes happening every single thing in your life. And it makes me think of a Rubik's, what do they call it, Rubik's Cube or whatnot. And there's so many changes happening simultaneously. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So many changes happening simultaneously at one time. The Rubik's Cube, yeah. And so when you look at a Rubik's Cube, they have to change so many different things all at once. And so that's what you want to be able to understand. At some point in your life, everything is going to change in one moment, and you got to be able to have the endurance, yet the faith to sustain. One thing I want to reflect on today is, track and field, right? If you ever think about people who do track and field, there's different types of exercises and different type of mentality and different things that you need to prepare for the length of the journey. All right. So let's start off with the basics, right? If you're running the 100-meter family, that's the shortest race. Okay. The 100-meter is the shortest race on the track. It's just it's the straight line on the home stretch on one side. Right. And so that race is pretty quick. It's pretty straight to the point. And the fastest record today is between 9 to 10 seconds. If you got heard of Usain Bolt, he's one of the fastest runners, right? So, or Florence Joyner. So understand this: when they're getting prepared for that particular race, they're doing certain exercises. They're doing certain mental exercises, strengthening exercises for them to endure for just 100 meters. But for those of us who want to go a little bit longer in life, who want to go for the next stretch, y'all drop next stretch in life, right? Drop next stretch in the chat box. Understand that there's a different level of faith that's going to be required from you. There's going to be more exercises. There's going to be more effort that's required from us for us to be able to hit the next stretch. What in the word is the next stretch? The next stretch is 200 meters. So you mean to tell me Usain and Joyner hit the first 100 meters within 10 seconds? Okay. But what a lot of people don't reflect on is the amount of effort it took for them to come to one race at one time. It was 4 years later before they reached that stretch. It was 4 years later before they reached the stretch. The stretch was only 100 meters. Guys, understand this. There's going to be work. There's going to be effort. There's going to be time to pass. There's going to be exercises, challenges, so many things that you're going to have to deal with in your 4-year span before you reach that 100-meter stretch. And guess what? You work 4 years for 10 seconds. Come on, B. You work 4 years for 10 seconds. That's how your blessings are going to play out. There's going to be endurance training. There's going to be a part of you that's got to be stretched, that's got to be ripped apart. That's got to be, see, when you are growing your muscles, they have to be torn. They have to be stretched, right? There's going to be so many tests. There's going to be trials. There's going to be different environments and people, relationships, and so many things that you're going to have to come across for a 10-second moment. Somebody drop 10 seconds in that moment in the chat box. Drop 10 seconds in the chat box. They waited 4 years for 10 seconds. But what did they gain from that moment? They gain experience. They gain journey. They gain relationships. They gain recognition. And ultimately, they gain the reward. they gain the reward. Now, not everybody was able to walk away from that experience with a medal, but understand they was able to walk away with more knowledge, with more wisdom, with more lessons. So now guess what? The person who didn't make it to the top 3, guess what they did? Somebody drop in the chat box what y'all think they did. What do y'all think is about to happen next? Right? The person who didn't kick it, who didn't clear it that first 10 seconds, what y'all think they did? They went back and prepared for another 4 years. They said another 4. The question for you on tonight, are you willing to go back in preparation for what it is that you want? Run it back, like Mr. Moody said. Are you willing to go back into preparation? Are you willing to go back into the training? Are you willing to go back and get all those things necessary for you to run the race? Guess what's next up? Now we got those who maybe not, who want to go a little bigger. If you want a little bigger happening in your life, somebody drop big in the chat box. If you want a little bigger happening in your life, drop big in the chat box, right? The next stretch is the 200 meters, right? The next stretch is the 200 meters. See, do y'all understand that although Mr. Usain Bolt won the 100 meter for the gold medal for the fastest man on the planet, do y'all understand, even though he was the fastest man for the 100 meter, he won't be the fastest man for the 200 meter? Right? He won't maintain the fastest man. I mean, he's the fastest man right now, but he won't be the fastest man if he wasn't trained for the 200 meter. This is what people are missing. You are only going to be trained. You got to understand how much training you're putting in and what you're looking to receive. Usain Bolt is on the end of the 100 meter and on the end of the 200 meter. He not only prepared for the 100 recipient reward, but he prepared for 200. See, a lot of us are not prepared. A lot of us are just preparing for our goals, just where we can see them, but we're not preparing for the goals where God sees us. Woo-hoo-hoo. Come on, B. A lot of us are preparing for our goals where we can see them, but we're not preparing for our goals where God can see us. And you have to understand, you got to put in a little bit more effort if you want a little bit more. Big is what we want on tonight, right? Guess what? Florence holds the 200 meter too. But guess what? They prepare 4 years. They prepare 4 years. And you know what's so beautiful? They ran 10 seconds for the 100 meter, but they ran 20 seconds for the 200 meter. Do y'all believe that they just doubled up their effort to experience a double up blessing? They just doubled up their effort to receive a double up blessing. How many of us can double up our experiences today? How many of us can double up our effort on today? Right? Now, sometimes we may not feel the motivation. We may not simply feel like it. We may not feel in love with the process. We may not feel in the mood. Anybody ever been there before? Drop some yeses and nos in the chat box. Let's be very honest on tonight. Have you ever felt like you weren't in the mood to pursue the behavior of the goal? Now, we still want the goal, but I wasn't in the mood for the work of the goal. I've been there before, y'all. It still hits me today here and there. I'm not in the mood to really do that. I'm not in the mood to DM nobody. I'm not in the mood to do no text message, no calls, follow up. But guess what? Guess what hits me? What hits me is knowing that not being in the mood is a reflection. No, not being in the mood is not going to grant me access, because I have to remember those principles, faith and works. So if I'm not in the mood, that means I'm not going to work, but that's okay. We're going to have those times when we come there. We're human. That's okay. As long as you don't quit the goal, it's okay if you come in and out of the mood, but just don't quit the goal. But after the 200 meter, guys, guess what you got? You got the 400 meter. You got the 400 meter. Now, guess what? Usain and Joyner, they might have prepared for the 1 and 2, but guess what? They couldn't make it to the 4. Because guess what? They ain't running halfway around the track. Right? They ain't running twice as long around the track. They got to hit 4 times what they wanted at first, what the initial goal was. Right? So the point of this, guys, is to understand that there's going to be a point, there's going to be a part of you that has to push beyond certain points. All right? And there's going to be points of you where you don't feel like pushing past those certain points. But I want to challenge you today to overcome your feelings. I want to challenge you today to say, you know what? I know darn well I don't feel like, I don't want to do it, but I'm just going to do it. I do that pretty often. I'll say, you know what, let's just do it, B. For instance, last Friday, I have over 100 people in my organization, and I did my due diligence to call every single one or send out a text message. Every single person. My hand was cramping after I did that. I said, oh, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I said, well, let me start saying, let me just do it. Let me start off with the easy folks first. Let me call Moody. Let me start out with the easy folks first. All right. And then I started getting into, guess what? Traction started to happen. Right. There's types of trainings that you're going to need. for you to get to the next level in your success. You want 100-meter stretches, 200 or 400-meter stretches, guys. There's bigger exercises that you're going to do. You're going to do strength training, breaking down muscles, aerobics, balance, stability, agility, coordination, right? There's more trainings that you're going to have to take. So what's going to happen, guys, is the big goals that you have, the bigger your goals are, understand that there's more trainings that you're going to have to subscribe to. The person that's running for the 100-meter, they're not going to do the same training as the person doing the 400 meters, right? Flexibility, mobility, there's certain things that you got to go through. There's a next level of faith that's required of you. If you're ready to endure and go through certain trainings for you to get that big goal in your life, throw some 777s in a chat box, right? And it's not cool to just hear it, but you got to mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually prepare yourself for these big trainings, right? It sucks going to the gym sometimes and your thighs be burning, right? Certain things that we got to do, but guess what? It's for what? It's for us to complete this next mission. It's for us to reach, to run the next race. And what you don't want to do is ever get complacent at winning the same race. Woo! That's a nugget. Ain't nobody ever thought about that. You got to stop being excited about winning the same race. You're boring now. Cool. You hit your rank. Cool. You hit that profit in your account. Cool. That's cool. But now I challenge you to start taking new classes, be for real. Now I challenge you to beat on that skill set. Now I challenge you to take it up another level. It's not good enough that you can play the drums by ear. It's not good enough that you can produce and rap and play. What if you actually could read music? What if you could actually compose music? What if you could actually not just play by ear, but you can actually bring your mental and your spiritual together, and they can create something more significant than what you can just hear by ear. That's what you guys got to understand. When are we going to make a decision to take it up another level? When are we going to make a decision to start taking up next trainings, right? Because a lot of people celebrate winning the same thing over and over again. Nobody wants to hear from you. And guess what also has happened? Because you have decided not to take a new training, for you to take a new stretch, to take up new exercises, guess what also happens in your life, which is two things. Two things begin to happen. God can no longer get new glory. There's no more new glory prevailing. And if there's no new glory, that means you don't have a new story. And that means there's somebody that needs to hear your new story. So you think somebody still needs to hear your old story. No, the people who needed to hear the old story are already blessed by that. There's a new version of you. There's a new story that has to be birthed, but other people's blessings are to be birthed from you. Understand that, oh Lord, it's about to get deep, y'all. Understand that you have the ability to impregnate people's vision. That's the spirit. You have the ability to impregnate people's vision. Why? Because through you, they believe. Through you. See, they have a seed sitting right here. They have a seed in their heart. But they heard your story, Greta. They heard your story, Barbie. And your story is the sperm for them to have birth to a whole new blessing. Please follow the analogy, all right? Your stories can create babies. Your stories can create babies. Oh, I got to listen to this one. So understand what you have to do. So stop celebrating the old version of you. Jesus died on the cross for our sins. Stop being a version of the new Old Testament. We want to hear the new version of you. I'm going to say it again. The old version of you, we don't want to hear that no more. I want you to come on over here to the New Testament. We can't be blessed by the old version of you no more. All right? I want you to walk on over here to the New Testament. Because guess what? The Old Testament was based off of laws, but the New Testament is based off of of my Lord Jesus, my Jesus, right? Now, if you don't believe, cool, just follow me. Right? Because now nothing is completely based off of me carrying any weight. I don't have to carry that no more. I just have to operate off of faith and works. It's that simple. And it may sound so cliche. So start running the 100 race, family. It's cool. You're making a little 50K a year. You're making a little 30K a year, 70K. That's cool. You've been running that 100-meter race for 4 years. You keep coming to Olympics running the same race. You trained 4 years for the same race, conquered the race. But because you don't want to stretch yourself, you go back and to do the same trainings. You've already conquered the race. You've already conquered that level. We've already celebrated you. right? And you have to understand, guys, if nobody is celebrating nothing new in your life, that means you haven't grown. If there's no there, you haven't had a new experience, right? You're the same person. Now, understand, some things take time. Those seeds are going to harvest. But if you're telling me the same story from a year ago, you still chasing old success. You stop being lazy in pursuit of new success, all right? So the 400 meters, right? And guess what's after the 400 meters? 800. That means these folks got to run around this thing 2 times, right? So do you believe that the faith that you had running the 100 meter is going to require more faith when you're running the 800 meter? Do you believe the strengthening exercises that you've trained for the 100 meter, they're going to increase when you go for 800? Yes or no in the chat box. Do you believe that just more is going to be required of you when more is required of you when you want more? We have to stop thinking that 100 meter faith is going to get us the 800 meter blessing. You got to get ready. You got to get signed up for new success. You got to get signed up for new trainings. You got to get signed up for new endurance, family. Right? And so it goes on and on. And then you have the 1,500 meters, right? 5,000 meters. 5,000 meters is 12 laps around a track, 12.5. Listen. So for those of you, God says the faith the size of a mustard seed. He didn't say the faith maximized at a mustard seed. He said minimum, at least the faith the size of a mustard seed. So if you could begin to, what if you actually begin to water that mustard seed? What if you didn't just say, I'm going to stop here? This is what people do, y'all. You get the seed and say, that's just enough. God said, I only needed to have this. That's what people do. All he said was, I need to have this. You can't even see that. Right? But what if you took that seed and you put it in some solid foundation? What if you buried it behind some foundation? What if you buried it behind reading, growing, stretching, counseling, developing yourself? What if you put it in a strong foundation? And guess what you do? You pick up this cup and you begin to water it. What if you begin to water the mustard seed? I don't think I ever heard anybody say that. Have y'all heard somebody? What if you actually begin to water the mustard seed? What if I buried the mustard seed, put it into soil? Then I begin to now I bury it, and now I actually start watering it. What? Because I wake up every day, I read my word, I study my word, I do these strengthening exercises, right? I go through these trials, these tribulations, and guess what? That seed begins to grow, what allows me to access bigger blessings, what allows me to access bigger trainings. So now I can run this race longer than anybody on this call. I didn't just take the seed and put it in my pocket. I began to water it so that it can grow. So I'm not seeing you still at the 100 meter. See, now I can look back at you and you still running 100. I'm at 200. Right? And then guess what? I water it some more. Now I move it out of a pot and put it on the land. Ooh, I moved it out. I moved the mustard seed out of a flower pot and put it into some land. Right? But me moving the seed, guys, is me moving my faith. Please get this. Me moving the seed. Because guess what? The level of faith that some people have, they can't hold it. It's not equate to them holding it between 2 fingers. All right? Your faith, you may be able to hold between 2 fingers. My faith can't fit in no flower pot. That's the question you have to ask yourself on tonight. Do I have a mustard seed faith, or do I got 15-acre faith? do I have 30-acre faith? All right. That's why I couldn't get that car. I was overqualified. Ooh. My faith so big that God says I'm overqualified to receive something that I thought I was qualified for. Please get that. My faith is so overqualified that I didn't get that blessing that I thought I needed. Please catch that, y'all. Please get that. A lot of times people think they are not receiving the blessing, but when you are really, and if you even have that mentality, then yeah, you probably just ain't receiving the blessing because that's what you are attracted. But sometimes God will put you in position to receive, to be overqualified. You overqualified yourself because you kept moving that seed, because you kept growing that seed. No, the brother, I don't want you to move into that house. It's only 150K. There's going to be a random call you're going to get from somebody who knew you, and word of mouth, your name got into the mouth of somebody else that said you're qualified for this $500,000 home, an application that you never put in. But because your faith was overqualified, the word of mouth got around enough for them to call you. Please understand, that's how God moves. And guess what? Whatever you was going to pay for that 150K house, you're going to pay for that $500,000 K house. But because your faith overqualified you, God used people around you to put you in position where he knew you could be. Y'all with me tonight? He put you in position because what? You ran the race. You ran the race. He upgraded you without you looking for the next upgrade. Huh? Right? Moody talking about 10 million, but Moody, what if he sent you 20 million? He said, no, this boy been speaking about this $10 million every freaking week for 52 weeks in a row. He has never wavered. It has not been shaken. It has not. This boy went from no money in his bank account to 20 million. He was able to receive double. Why? Because he was in training to receive a $200-meter race and not a 100-meter reward. Right? He went to the Olympics, ran the 100, but he was qualified to receive the 200. Why? Because by faith, we understand. We say faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things that are not seen. Right? By faith, we understand that the world is framed by the word of God. Right? So the things that are seen, which are not made of the things which are visible. I love that say in Science of Getting Rich. The things that you see today, family, are made from things that are not visible. I said this on about 2-3 calls ago. Your greatest happiness will come from things you can never see. That's what I tell people all the time. Without faith, it's impossible to please him. You have to believe, and you have to seek him diligently. Well, what do you mean? I pay attention to the fact that it says unseen, invisible. So what you mean, B? Well, if we go back and look for so much evidence even in my personal life, and I hope y'all got some evidence in your personal life where you know you couldn't see anything. But for some reason, a blessing came through. Favor. Check out Noah's story. The one biggest takeaway I get from Noah's story, yeah, he built the boat and et cetera, but the key thing people miss is that he was warned of things that were not yet seen. He was warned of things that were not seen, but he moved in consciousness of God. He moved in godly fear. He prepared the ark for the saving of households. He prepared the ark to save people that condemned him. But he was preparing for things that were not yet seen. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. He was preparing for things not seen. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. Faith in works, action activates faith. So you mean to tell me that me doing these type of behaviors, me doing certain habits, me running certain plays every single day. See, Usain Bolt may not have seen it in the physical that he was going to win the 102-meter race yet. But because of the 4 years of training, he was prepared to receive. Are you putting in 4 years of training on tonight, family? Are you preparing your ark? What is your ark in your life? Moody shared his at the beginning of his call, paying his sister's tuition, right? Giving people $15 million. See, that's his ark. He may not see it in the physical. And Moody, guess what? People are talking about you. People are condemning you. People are mocking you. People don't believe because they can't see it yet. But because you speak it and you're operating off of what you're speaking, you are what? Operating in faith. Your faith is evidence of things not seen. Guess who else? Abraham, right? Abraham, they dwelt in this list. I can give y'all so many stories. Sarah, Abraham, so many different stories. Moses, so many people were operating with their eyes closed. That's it right there. So many people were operating with their eyes closed. You don't need eyes for faith. You don't need eyesight for faith. Oh my goodness. Somebody put that in the prerequisites. Somebody put that one in the book. I need to put that one in Hebrews or Proverbs or something. You don't need eyesight for faith. That's a prerequisite for faith, by the way. You don't need eyesight for faith. You need vision. All right. He didn't say by what you see, things are done. No. What you can't see. That's when you get closer. That's when you dive deeper. That's when you get more aggressive. Because I can say, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm gonna hit these ranks. I don't know how I'm gonna hit secure these bags. But guess what? I'm about to be Noah. Somebody drop Noah in the chat box. Listen, if you don't believe, just follow me on tonight. I'm about to just be Noah, bro. Let me go ahead and build my ark. All right. Let me go ahead and prepare to receive. Let me go ahead and prepare for things that's about to happen that I don't even know. I don't have nothing in sight. Nothing. All right. Listen, I'm about to get my Noah on. They say Nolo. No, I say Noah. Put that on the shirt. All right. No. Ain't no YOLO, NOLO, none of that. It's Noah. Get your Noah on. All right. Everybody get your roll on. Everybody get your Noah on. Okay. Because guess what, guys? By faith, you will overcome everything. Okay. By faith, you will overcome everything. I remember when they said, it's a story in the Bible that talks about this battle, and he asked them to walk around the walls of Jericho 7 times. Right. And he said, just walk around 7 times. And a lot of times you're going to receive instruction that makes no sense to you. Man, what do you mean walk around these walls 7 times, bro? We got to win this war. We got to fight this battle. We got to knock these walls down. No, I'm going to show you how to work smarter, not harder. Understand that. By faith, you're working smarter, not harder. Because through your faith, you're dependent upon what God can do for you and not what you can do from you. See, when you simply rely on yourself, you're going to start working harder because there's going to be access to rooms. There's going to be different conversations. There's going to be skill sets, things that you may not even have. But guess what? When you're operating in your belief, God knows that you're disqualified in the worldly terms, but he knows you're qualified in his realm. And because his realm oversees everything, he's going to put you in spaces, in rooms, and relationships, and put you in a space to receive, even when you felt like you weren't qualified. Because you didn't operate off of your own will, you operated off his will, family. Guess what? Faith is your shortcut. Faith is your shortcut. Faith is your shortcut to every single thing that you want. Right? Doesn't that feel refreshing? Y'all got to feel a weight lifted. Somebody just dropped the word exhale in the chat box. I appreciate that, guy. I really appreciate that. Right? Because now I don't have to listen. If you can think of that, if that could be an automatic response, I ain't got to worry about that. People, there's certain conversations with people I purposely won't have a conversation with. There's things I won't tell certain people because they don't know how to respond the way that I do. There's certain things I won't share with people because I know their perspective is not where I am yet. So I know if I can't share with you, your ears are not even ready. Your faith is not ready. You still carrying around that seed faith. My faith been planted on 100 acres. Right? My faith is covering all ground. There we go. Oh, I like that one. My faith is covering all ground, not just the round of my hand, not just the palm of my hand. Because I kept watering. I kept showing up. I kept being tested. I kept passing the test. I kept remembering him in the middle of the test. I kept remembering him when the test was done. A lot of people fail the test by forgetting the test. Whew. Oh, wait a minute. Some people fail the test by forgetting the test. They thought the test, oh, Patricia, they thought the test was the tribulation period. They thought the test was the challenge. They thought the test was losing a loved one. They thought the test was a car accident. They thought the test was losing a job. They thought the test came with a loss. But actually, the test was memory. Are you going to remember me after this phase? That's where your test lies. Are you going to remember me after you're blessed? That's where most people fail. A lot of people have crisis faith. A lot of people have crisis faith. And I'm not speaking about Christ himself. A lot of people have crisis faith. It's not a double entendre. No, not C-H-R-S-I-S-T. No, you don't have Christ faith. You have crisis faith. C-R-I-S-I-S. All right? So what happens is he scoops in, he saves you. He said, I got your back again. We dap him up. He gone by his business. And what you begin to do is get back and cheat on him with the world. And you forgot he brought you out of the world. And guess what? You go right back to having another one-night stand with the very place he just blessed you from. Y'all got to stop cheating on God with the world. You got to stop cheating on God with your crisis faith. Right? I shouldn't be an emergency contact. Oof. Stop. Listen, I shouldn't just be an emergency contact. Matter of fact, I shouldn't be an emergency contact at all. I should be the only contact, whether it's good in every single season. You should maintain the same stamina, the same tone, the same faith, the same wisdom, no matter come what may, whether it's rocky outside, whether the wind is blowing, whether the sun is shining, whether the birds are chirping. I should always, when I hear you call my name, it's either going to be praise. It's either going to be you excited. It's going to be you thanking me because you know in the midst of the storm that you are still going to be saved. And you knew coming out of the storm that that's the only way you can maintain being saved. See, a lot of people are calling on faith. Listen, y'all. Don't develop a relationship with God seeking a reward. It just hit me. A lot of people begin to build their faith because they believe their faith is going to get them to a reward, a material reward. I know if I grow my faith, I'm going to be able to do this. I know if I grow my faith. No. Those are byproducts of developing faith. Faith is not a transaction. It's not a transaction. It's not. I'm going to believe so I can get this. It's something called drop shipping. I just did a presentation today. Oh, I love this. I love this. I just did an ECX presentation today. If I have people that's not in the company, basically we teach you how to build an online store. My only responsibility is to be the face of what God can do. I'm the product. And when you have a communication with me, when I meet you, or whether I'm speaking with God, whatever is happening, I never have to mail you the blessing. I never have to ship you the blessing. I just have to be a success story. So when you go place your order, it ain't me sending you your blessing. You place the order with him. Understand that you can have a drop ship experience through your faith. That's all faith is a drop shipping experience. I'm just the face. I'm just the cover. I'm just the shell. I'm just a product of what he's done for me in my life. I'm just a product of what can happen when you believe. I'm just a product. So when you come to my store and it says B. Burrell, it says item number 1, made it through depression. Item number 2, made it through self-hate. Item number 3, made it through building this business. Item number 4, made it out of a car wreck. Item number 5, made it through grieving. Do y'all understand that you are the store of glory? You're just a store of God's glory. So when people see you, they can, oh my goodness. So when people see you, guess what they can do? They can begin to build their online store. They can build their online store, right? And other people can begin to make purchases, right? Receive blessings, excuse me. People can begin to receive blessings because I saw what her store looked like. I like her storefront. But guess what? The warehouse ain't mine, baby. Listen, if you want to shop with me, if you want to shop with me, it ain't me sending you nothing. When you sign up with Generational Wealth, you ain't signing up with me. When you sign up with I Am Academy, you ain't signing up with me. We just a storefront. But guess who gonna send you the packages? Guess what? And when you open the package, it ain't always gonna be exciting. Sometimes you're gonna open a package that says pain. I need your storefront to grow. You ain't got enough success stories on your storefront. So sometimes God has to send you pain. Y'all have to understand relationship ain't always just all happy-go-lucky and clouds in the sky. Your faith should allow you to maintain through the clouds in the sky. But understand some packages you're going to receive are going to be heartache, discomfort, grief, disappointment. All right? Disadvantages, challenges. Because guess what? Now you're going to be stronger to run the next race. It all came back full circle. Right? You can overcome everything in your life, family. You can. Somebody drop overcome in the chat box. You can overcome everything in your life. But the main thing you have to understand is, what type of faith do you possess? Is it organic? Right? Is it natural? Is it crisis faith? Is it circumstantial faith? Right? Certain conditions? Or is it at all times? Right? Is it at all times? So y'all have to choose who you want to become on tonight. I want to see, because I want to be able to come in your storefront. I want to be able to see your stories. And because I love what I see, I buy into what you show me. Your store is living proof of what's possible for me. That's all. Listen, when y'all see other people having success, whether they edify God or not, that's just their storefront. So that gives you an ability to become. Y'all ready for what I'm about to say? I hope y'all ready for what I'm about to say. Mr. Clark, Cliff, y'all ready for what I'm about to say? Moody, because I loved your store so much, I want to be a franchise. That's it. That's it. Because I love your store so much, I want to become a franchise. That's what building this business is. This is everything you do. Whether you building your body, whether you building your, oh, Jesus. Whether you building your body, your mind, your credit, your spiritual relationship, whatever you building. Whatever you're building is going to be listed as an item on your store, your faith store. And the more items that are there, the more trials that you face, the more that people would choose to franchise and join this faith movement. But if you don't seek counsel, some people need counseling. Spiritual, don't be afraid to talk to somebody. All right, because what you're hoarding is what you're creating. God, you're blocking your blessing. Get that out of your system. Get all that hatred, that bitterness, that unforgiveness, right? That resentment. Get that out of your system, your blood. You're wondering why your health is declining. Because your faith declined. Faith, do you understand that faith is clean? It ain't toxic. It ain't got symptoms. It ain't got negative symptoms. Right? So clean your blood. Clean your blood. Clean your heart. Clean your mind. Clean your body. Clean your spirit. Clean your house. Clean your environment. Clean your car. Right? Because this is what I'm talking about everything. I believed I could get this car because I saw your car, but your car look junky and nasty. God don't operate off of junk, y'all. Excellence. Operating excellence. right? Your store is going to tell your story, right? Your store is going to tell your story. Your story is going to what? Allow people to choose to franchise, right? So who are you? Who are you? The definition, the suffix of RE is occupation, business, conditions, place, establishment. Oh, that's funny. A place of business, some other activity, establishment. Storing, an establishment storing your stories. Your story is an establishment of stories, right? Your store. So who do you want to become? Who do you want people to see? And when people see your storefront, what type of franchise do they want to go put? What type of franchise do they want to go and establish? It's all up to you, ladies and gentlemen. By faith, you can overcome. Whether you walk in the walls, whether you building the ark, right? No matter what you're doing, whether you're walking on water, whatever it is that you're doing, it's all going to come by your level of faith. But please understand this the most. And I think we put too much emphasis on just, being in a relationship requires the activity. It requires you to just step back and look at your life. Because I see a lot of people who pass and come and go in this space all the time. And it's really no valid reason as to why they get off track. It's just that they didn't prioritize. Right? Sunday night, I did a team call and we talked about having a clean slate. Clean slate. And I want to pass that on to y'all tonight. I want everybody to choose to start off with a clean slate tonight. And I want you to choose to be intentional about where you're going. I don't want you to be a participant. I don't want you to be a speculator. I don't want you to be a bench writer, but I want you to be the best at what you do. So if you're a part of I want you to be the best trader. I want you to come here and get this skill set. I want you to grow that account. I want you to, maybe you don't have to grow your account. Maybe you come in with 5, 10 G's and you're just clearing $100, $200, $300 a day, right? You don't have to compound when you got at least 10 bands in your account within risk management. $10,000, you can have $200, $300 a day. That's it. You don't have to compound unless you just want to, right? You want to be that person to leverage HFX trading. You want to be that person with e-commerce, whatever you want to do, credit, crypto, I don't know. But let's make a choice today to not just run and train for the 100-meter race. Because guess what? Do y'all believe that people who run track, do y'all believe that they do know that there's a 5,000 meter race? Do y'all believe that? Yes or no? They train, they just want to run a 100. But do y'all believe that at least they know that there's a 100-meter race? Jesus. All right? 105. Well, they know something is bigger than where they at. There it is. They do know something is bigger than what they're training for. Okay. So let's choose not to just be aware that something is bigger, but let's continue to train bigger than where we're currently going. That's why people become stagnant, because you only want to train for what the minimum. You only want to train for the little bit. All right. Because once you hit the 100-meter race, go bigger. Go bigger. All right. But that's our call tonight, family. That's our call tonight. Franchise your faith is the hashtag. Franchise your faith. What will people see when they see you? Go big or go home. These next 3 months, or whatever, the last quarter. This last quarter, starting this week, take an hour a day, take 30 minutes a day. It may take you a week or two. Truly stop, look, and reflect on who you really want. Clean slate. What do you really want to happen in the next 2 to 5 years? Think about how much time has transpired already. All right, cool. Not a big deal. Maybe we didn't pull in our fullest potential. Maybe we didn't give it our all these past 12 months, 2 years. Maybe we know what we could have done better. We're not going to talk about it no more. That's irrelevant. Time has already passed. But there's time that's coming. And there's time that we can take advantage of. And there's a seed that some of y'all are still holding between your fingers. I challenge you to do this. I challenge you to take that seed from your hand to a pot. From the pot to your backyard. From your backyard to new land. From new land to the whole planet. I challenge you to first start growing your faith. I challenge you, secondly, to make sure you understand that faith is not just believing. That faith is actually the work behind it. Okay? Remember, Noah's faith was, y'all please catch this part. Noah's faith was not solidified by simply believing that something that he didn't see was coming. His faith was solidified by what he built prior to it happening. Please catch this. The faith was solidified by what was built prior to what was happening. Right? It was, I'm going to build this, but I know God is en route to me. I know God is en route. I know something is en route. So what are you building that you know is en route? That's it. What's your ark? What are you building that you know is that's en route? Right? And then let's begin to take our time. Listen, that was a nugget. Y'all hope y'all caught that. Build the ark. Grow the account. Get the job. Get the second job. Whatever you got to do. It's temporary because something bigger is on the way. You got to be able to get on. You got to be able to be above it when it's coming, though. Right? And the last thing I want y'all to do is really say you're not the person you was before this call. That person is gone. This is a rebirth. This is a resurrection. You just shared a new version of you. Break down who you want to be. What do you want? I have a certain amount of goals that I know I'm achieving by the end of this year. It's not big, crazy goals. My first goal is making sure I solidify my schedule with my classes, my music classes. That's my first thing. That's making me feel amazing. My second goal was meal prepping. I did that. I feel amazing. My third goal was getting through Jim Rohn's this playlist I had for Jim. I kind of come back around. It's like 100-something videos. It's just things like that I know will contribute to my growth. One of my goals was calling everybody on the team to make sure they got to Houston. That was one of my goals, right? The goal is not the destination. Please understand that. Okay? Your goal is not, what you mean? You tell me right? The goal is not the destination, family. The goal is the habits every single week, every single day. It's not the destination. The 100-meter is not the destination. Catch that. Going towards the 200-meter mark is not the destination. That's just a byproduct of me stretching myself. That's just a byproduct of my habits. That's just a byproduct of me going and going and going. $10 million is not the destination, Moody. That's not the destination. That's a byproduct of your habits, research, studying, money management, CPAs, accountants. That's the work. $10 million is a byproduct of their actual work. Right? Chairman 10 is just a byproduct of me going all in, making. That's just a byproduct. Chairman 10 is not the goal, y'all. It's not the goal. The habits are the goal. That's the goal. And when you can switch the two, you can have so much peace. You have so much, when you can switch the two, right? You can have peace. The goal wasn't to call 100 people. The goal was to call one 100 times. I hope y'all caught that. Somebody catch that in the next session. The goal wasn't to call 100 people. It was to call one person 100 different times. All right? Y'all will catch that on the way out. Focus on the habits. Focus on the person you got to become. Grow. Get to work. Do something. It ain't got to be big, y'all. I'm telling you, the goal is how can I feel confident every day? Action creates confidence. Action removes the feeling of feeling stagnant. Action solves everything. but don't allow the action, your view of action to be so big that it holds you. Don't allow your view and your perspective of what action looks like, that it holds you, that it freezes you up. Right? Oh, I want to go platinum 5,000. Then you just don't move at all. I want to go chairman 10. You just don't move at all. No, bump all that. The goals are not ranks and titles and promotions. The goal is the freaking action. That's the goal every single time. Faith and works. It's simple. It's the simplest formula. But a lot of us are just waiting on faith. God, listen, I don't really want to do the work part, bro. Please just send me this bag. Please I'm just going to pray this money just going to show up in my lap. Please. He looking at you. Why in the world do you deserve it? You're not even showing me your worthy. You didn't show up for the training. You haven't even trained for 4 years. You're not even preparing to run the race. Right? The goal is not ranks and titles and recognition. No. The goal is who actually took action, who actually went and built the ark, cut down a tree, got the wood, prepped the animals. That's the goal. Is, can I build something? If you remember that, you'll get there. That's the goal. So what do you want to build in your life? All right. My goal is not to be a musical genius. My goal is to go to school and get the knowledge. I can't be musical genius is a byproduct of the habits. Right? Understand that. So let's get it. You can overcome every single thing you want in your life. Last quarter, about to fly through it. Top of the year, the first 3 months, they start now. We done. Those first of January, March, they start now. You only got Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's 2 days. That's 2 days. Don't allow Thanksgiving and Christmas. And when I say it, guys, don't allow yourself to allow 2 days to make the whole last quarter stagnant. It ain't nothing for you to celebrate. Because guess what? We ain't did the work. We ain't did what we're supposed to do. Get to work. 2 days, that's it. The rest of that whole month, we need to be what? Faith and works. Faith and works. Moving that seed from pot to plant to backyard to land to whole earth. Let's get it. Love y'all. Peace and blessings. All right. Franchise your faith. That's the hashtag on tonight. Tag me on Instagram at BeBurrell Music. Let's hashtag franchise your faith. All right. Franchise your faith. If somebody can drop that in the chat box for me right now so I can copy and paste it. Franchise your faith is our hashtag on tonight. Let somebody see your story. I want you to build out your storefront. I want you to welcome challenges. I want you to welcome lessons. I don't want you to be fearful of them. All right? Because remember, somebody going to see you, but they going to see you as a vessel. They're going to want them to see God. All right? Franchise your faith. Let's get it. Don't have crisis faith. Peace and blessings, family. I'll see y'all next week. There we go. Thank you so much, Patricia. Y'all have a blessed night. Playback on the way.